Welcome to our tutorial on leveraging Zod with Next.js 14 to supercharge your app's type safety and data validation. Today we will dive into how Zod can streamline your development process, ensuring your data is validated and your types are tight. So let's get started. First, ensure you have a Next.js 14 app up and running. If not, create one using the npx create next app command. You can also watch one of my tutorials on my YouTube channel to understand how to install it by yourself. Once your project is ready, it's time to add Zod. So open up your editor in the root directory of your project, run the command npm install Zod. Press enter. Okay, with Zod installed, let's explore its power by creating a simple form validation example. Now we will create a folder called utils or lib in the app directory. And here I will create a new file named validation schema.js. You can give it any name, whatever you like. Here we will define our first Zod schema for user registration form. First I will import the Zod from the Zod library, and now I will export constant user registration schema is equal to z.object and pass it an empty object. And now we will start adding the fields in that object. First we will add name. So name would be string. There would be minimum 2 characters and maximum would be 255 characters. And for the minimum I will add an error message if they break this rule. Name is required. Okay, after name we will add email property that will have the email validation and max character limit on it. And then I will have the password validation, so it has a limit of 8 characters, and also the error message if they don't follow that rule. So this schema validates a user's name, email, password, providing custom error messages for each field. Now let's use this schema in Next.js page. So let's create a register page inside the app directory, and then we will import our schema. So here I will create a folder like registers, and within that folder I will add a file page.tsx, and I will export it. And here I will add the name of the function with the capital character with the first letter capital, so that okay. Now let's import the schema that we just created from lib/validation schema. Okay, for this example, assume we have a basic form with name, email and password fields. Upon form submission, we will validate the data using our Zod schema. So here let me create a function handle submit, and as this is going to have some user interaction, so this is going to be a client side component. For that we will add use client. Okay, and now I will receive the event from the handle submit, and we will use event.prevent default, and then I will create a constant form data is equal to, and now we will fill these properties email, password and confirm password, and we will get the values from the event.target.email.value, target password.value, event.target.confirm password. Instead of that we will have the name property. Okay, now we will validate it. So here we will add try catch block. Okay, so here I will use my schema dot parse and pass it the form data. So if form is not valid, if it is invalid form data, then it will throw an error that would be captured or caught in the catch block. Okay, now here you can add a console valid, and below that I will just quickly add some sample form, and within form I will add some form fields. Okay, so now let's open our application and go to that page register. Okay, this is my form. Let me add some styles to the parent element. Okay, I need to add some styles to the inputs as well. Okay, I will add these styles to all of these inputs one by one. So let me copy it, paste here and here. Okay, now let's quickly design the register button. Okay, and now let's hit the register button, but before that let me open the inspect element so that we could see the error in the console. Okay, in the console you can see we have errors, an array of errors. This is coming from the catch block. It is telling us that this error is about name field, and this is the error message. So it has a lot of detail that you can consume to customize your error message or display it in UI in any way by using this kind of information. So now let's fill it and add some valid data. Now let me clear it and hit the register button. This time you can see the valid message. Let me make the email invalid and click the register. This time there is only one error message in the array, that is about the email. Okay, so as you saw that if data is invalid, Zod throws an error detailing the issues which you can then display to your users. Zod isn't just for forms, it also incredibly useful for validating API request bodies in Next.js API routes. So let's create an API endpoint that uses our schema to validate incoming data. So let's navigate to the API folder. If it is not created already in your project, in the app directory, I will just create a folder API, and within that I will create a file in the register /route.tsx or ts. Okay, and now I will export function async function post. So this will receive the information and we will take it and create the user. So here let me type any here for now to get rid of the errors, and let me remove all of this for now. So here I will add try catch block like we did earlier. Okay, here I will add constant validated data is equal to user registration schema. Make sure to import it, and now once it is imported we will call the parse function in it, and we will pass the request.body to it, and if everything is valid then it will go to the second line, and here we will display the console log in this way, validated data. Okay, now at the end we will return the response to the client. So I am sending that user registered successfully, and in the cache block I will send an error message. Here I will just add the any here to get rid of the error. Alright, so this ensures your API only processes valid data, significantly reducing the risk of runtime errors. So let's quickly test it. Open the Postman, and now I will select the post method, and let's pass the endpoint HTTP localhost 3000/API/register, and let's hit the submit button. I got a server error, so let's go back to the backend and see the error in the console. What is that about? Here we can see that no response is returned from the handler, so make sure to return this response in this way and from here as well. Okay, save it. Now hit that again. This time we saw this message. It is an object with the property message that has an array of the errors. So array of objects, every object is an error. It is saying that invalid type, expected string, receive undefined, path name, email and password. So it is now telling us about every error for every single field. Now let's go back to the body, and in the raw section select the JSON here, and now I will start to provide the missing fields like name, XYZ, email, abc@gmail.com. Hit send. There is one mistake that we cannot directly access the body. Here you have to use JSON here to access the content. Now let's try it again. Hit the send button. This time here add the await as well after getting the JSON. So I will give it name body, that will be coming from the JSON, and then I will pass it to this parse function in this way. Okay, great. Now let's hit the send button, and this time you will see that as we are passing both name and email, so that's why there is only one error message, password. Okay, and now let's add the password here, and I will type A and hit the send button. Now I got different kind of error that is saying that password must be at least the 8 characters, and it is showing us the custom error message that we added earlier in the errors in the schema. Okay, now let's correct it and hit the send button. Okay, this time it is saying that user was registered successfully, and there you have it. You have now seen how Zod can be integrated into your Next.js 14 app for both client-side form validation and server-side API validation, making your apps more robust and secure. For more tips and tutorials, don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon to get notified for my upcoming videos. Also, please like and share this video. And if you have any questions or any thoughts or any suggestions or feedback, then please leave them in the comments section. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.